You know, I really like wearing heels and feeling like I'm tall. And then I realized that I'm actually just being, you know, normal height for a little bit. Hello and how are you? No one cares about this, but I care. Today I wanted to film what I've been reading lately because I have actually been reading again. Good job, 2019 me. I have a stack here in no particular order because I just grabbed them off my bookshelf. But these are some books that I have been reading and I thought, hey, what the heck, let's talk about them. Let's give my 2 cents. I just finished this one this morning. I may potentially be going on a Malik rant at some point. You've been warned. So, let's do this. I've been on a certain genre, if you can call it, reading kick this year, which is kind of odd. I only have 2 books here that actually represent it. I've read a couple others, but I've been reading World War II fiction, specifically Holocaust themed. I'm not really sure why, but for some reason it's just been fascinating to me as of late. But I did read that was really loud. But I did read The Book Thief, which I started reading years ago and never actually finished. I love the narration of this book. I love that it has shorter chapters. That is something that I dearly love with the book. I feel like it's on, or it like used to be like a big like, every kid needs to read this book type of thing, and I think that's really true. I don't know, it's really good. I've never seen the movie. I know that a movie was made. Shout out to 20th Century Fox. But yeah. Second book kind of on that theme, I read The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I had never read this before and I had never really knew how the story ended, and I ended up looking it up halfway through reading it because just me things. I read the little like author's note in the back that said the only way he could tell the story was through the eyes of a naive child. I really like that take on a story like this because it is sad and it is sensitive, and I think that that's a really just good route to take with telling a story like this. Something that I have been very fascinated with, especially living where this kind of took place, a story that is absolutely heartbreaking and something that, oh, it's so sad. I feel like, I don't want to say connected to it because I'm not, but I have a connection to the place where this happened and a connection to the people that it happened to, and I see how to this day it still affects the town and the community and the families. Austin actually got this book for me for my birthday. He got me a whole bunch of books, and it is the story of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, which is a truly, truly heartbreaking story of firefighters who lost their lives with dealing with a fire. I've actually driven through the area where the fire took place, and this was way before I even knew that this had happened. And last summer, Austin and I actually hiked part of the trail that they had actually gone up, like the side of a mountain. And the story is told by the one man that survived, and I was afraid that I was really going to... I don't always like biographies because I feel like sometimes they get too dependent on like detail and it just kind of becomes like fluff in a sense, and it's like not really necessary. It was written with someone else, so I don't know if they had like more of a part in like helping tell the story, helping make it more creative in a sense. I really like how it made them feel alive, and it gave me, as someone as a complete outsider to all of this, a little glimpse into like what that brotherhood was like, and I really enjoyed reading that. I also really like the film that the story is based off of, Only the Brave. So it was fascinating to see like how accurate the film was with like portraying to the book of what like actually happened. I will definitely be reading this again. I recommend reading this. It's heartbreaking though. It's so sad. My mom got me this ages ago. I have not caught up from like season 4 at this point. Like I can't believe the show's ending. The promo came out like where they're all singing the song and I got like teary-eyed. It's kind of fascinating having the show being the first thing that I was exposed to, seeing how accurate it was, like following the story. It wasn't my favorite thing ever to read. I don't think I would read it again, but it was very interesting, and it was a faster read than I was expecting. Trap till the cages full. I was so excited whenever I saw that this book had finally come out. I'm so excited for Christine. I've been watching Christine for years at this point, and I remember whenever she first uploaded her I'm writing a book video, and or book writing, whatever it was, her whole series that she had, I stayed up to date to like episode like 10 or something, and then I lost track of everything on YouTube. But I'm just so proud of her, like feeling like I kind of like know someone who like actually published a book. I adore the cover of this, actually. I like how it's kind of like, I don't want to say vintage, that's not the right word, but it looks a little bit old school in a way to me, and I just really like it. I like the colors and I like the design of it. As for the story itself, it wasn't my favorite thing. I thought that in some ways it relied on some like writing cliches, maybe. I didn't really like the endless references to what time period it was in. I think the dialogue is very well written. I think her character development was pretty good too, and I like the little like twist of like magic kind of that's in it with like going back in time. I thought that was kind of fun. I like the ending. The ending is sweet. Mostly just excited just to read this in general, just because it was Christine, and I don't know, I'm just really proud of her to have actually like freaking done it. Like, it's a book, and that's so cool. Alright, prepare yourself. The Eldest Curses, Book 1, The Red Scrolls of Magic. I missed Malik. I've been talking about wanting to read this book for ages at this point. This came out like earlier this year, and I felt bad because I haven't finished reading Lord of Shadows, or the last book in the Dark Artifice book series that's come out. Sorry, I got a Skype. It distracted me. This book felt like coming home in a sense. So it basically takes place in between, if I'm remembering correctly, end of City of Glass and like middle of City of Fallen Angels. And I remember the postcard series that came out on Tumblr like years ago and made me so happy. I've been wanting this book forever, and it was so sweet because I was standing in Target just like reading like the first chapter, and Austin just walked up and just took it from me and got it for me, which was the sweetest thing ever. It was just fun seeing those two again, and I just love them a lot. We get to see more of like them as a couple, and it's actually from their point of view, so it's not like, oh, we're seeing it through like Jace or Clary's eyes. It's the two of them, and of course, you know, they're hunting a cult that Magnus started as a joke. I don't know why I put air quotes, that's literally the plot of the story. But it's just the two of them, and we see Aline and Helen meet and get together, and they're sweet. Also is setting up for the next book, I guess. In the end, there's a nice little cliffhanger-ish thing. And I'm excited. I have no idea when the next book is coming out. I have no idea what's happening with it. But I love just like seeing the two of them because I've always adored them. Alec has always been one of my favorite characters ever. And I love getting more from like constant his point of view. Like, it doesn't like jump back and forth between like, oh, this is happening to Jason Clare and Alec's just there and this is what he's seeing. It was like, this was his story, his and Magnus, and I think that's great. I think that's awesome. And I want to read more. I don't know how much is written by Cassie and how much is written by Wesley, but I feel like it had a lot more of the original tone of the series. What I wasn't liking about Dark Artifices whenever I was reading it was that it sounded almost like a fan fiction to me sometimes. Like, the characters didn't sound as genuine as I'd remembered them. That very possibly just could be like that I was older reading it, but this felt more true to the original books. And yeah. Anyway, that's what has been on my recent books read list on Goodreads. I missed reading. It's fun. I spend every morning now drinking my coffee and reading like I was doing at my apartment for a really long time, and it's just really nice to be back in a little routine like that again. Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's actually Father's Day whenever I'm filming this. That's why I actually have makeup on, and I forgot how to apply eyeliner at this point. Like, 15-year-old me would be like so disappointed. I'm gonna go now. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.